This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Tim Daniel, and on tonight's show, we see Julian Garcia have a really strong outing for the Reds. TJ Friedl finally gets on base and gets a hit. Michael Toglia suffers a really bad injury, but we're going to start with the fact that Nick Lodolo was horrible.
Since hindsight is always 20/20, let's deliver today's second guess.
3 1/3, 6 earned runs, 10 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And how many times was he stolen on? Tell you what, I get it. You know, I say all the time, it's baseball, you're going to have bad days. That might have been his worst game he's ever had. I don't have it in front of me to say if that's true or not, but it certainly feels that way in the moment. You know, he'd been pitching pretty well of late. Last 7 starts at a 3.62 ERA, including this one. And obviously some of that's IL time and so on and so forth. But in his last 3 starts particularly, he has 4 innings against the White Sox where he gives up 4 earned runs. Does pitch pretty well against the Marlins, so 5 shutout innings, and then this one. That's not going to cut it. For a guy that, I get it. He's had all these injuries, this blister thing that no one can seem to figure out. And then he also has this circumstance where he's trying this new grip on a breaking ball. Doesn't matter. That was just absolutely horrible. And there's no excuse for how bad it was. It was embarrassing. Like, I know, like, he's probably embarrassed. I get it. But when you walk out there and you give your team no chance to win from Jump Street, what can you do? I mean, first inning gives up a run, second inning gives up 3, that Jordan Lawler home run, and then gives up another in the third, and another in the fourth, and gets pulled, doesn't even get to the 4th inning. It's pretty rough. I don't know how you go through a game like that again. I'm really sorry that we had to stay up late and watch that one here on the East Coast. That was not very fun. But Nick Lodolo today. Can't be having it. Really, really frustrating day for him. Really, really frustrating day for the team. I don't know how they can figure out what they're going to do with Nick Lodolo from here. You know, Hunter Greene's out the rest of the year. You need reliable starting pitching, and the starting pitching this year has obviously been not what we thought it was going to be, besides Burns and Andrew Abbott's been pretty solid. Brady Singer's been up and down. And Rhett Lauder's been up and down with the injury too. So this is the part where it's just kind of, what you got to figure something out with Nick Lodolo. And I don't know what that exactly is, but they got to have something that goes their way, because at this point, you can't rely on him to be consistently good on the mound. You can't rely on him to consistently be on the mound. I don't know what you do. But so on and so forth. It almost gets worse there because Michael Toglia also gets hurt tonight, diving for a ball in the first inning, and has a dislocated shoulder. Now, this sucks because obviously he was kind of getting his chance to get his swing back. Couldn't really do a whole lot with it necessarily. But they were kind of guys that was getting his chance, right? He played pretty well in AAA Louisville. He had a chance to go out there. And now the Reds are once again in a situation of like, well, what do we do? And I don't know how they do this, because now I think Will Benson's going to have to get his contract purchased. I think Will Benson's going to have to get called up. I don't know if they have another choice at this point with who's in the system. I don't know what the free agency looks like for outfielders necessarily right now. But I don't know what their other option is. I mean, they can't. I know we got a hit tonight. We're going to talk about that after the break with Friedl, which was nice to see. Don't get me wrong. But at this point, like, I think Will Benson's your one option. I would not be surprised if he is here tomorrow. I mean, if he's in Arizona tomorrow playing for this team in left field or right field or whatever it's going to be happening. But they got to figure something out with him here because I don't know what more you can do. So yeah, another guy down and an outfield that's already as slim gets. Cool. Really nice stuff here. But now we move on and we see what the Reds can figure out to do from here because this is not very good, Bob. And now, as the season just wheels along, you're just looking for people who can finish the season, right? You're looking for guys who can go out there and just like get at bats or finish the season up. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But frustrating night, obviously. Tough on all counts for the Reds. Their 13th shutout loss of the season, which is a lot. But we'll try to figure out some good stuff to talk about here after the break, including TJ Friedl finally getting a hit.
I was juggling a couple different apps the other day, and then I realized to myself, why don't I just use our friends at Clutch Parlays? Because that is their expertise. Instead of going to multiple different apps to check different injuries and betting lines, I can see it all in one with our friends at Clutch Parlays. And a little bit of bonus there is they give you data to back their bets. Maybe you want to do a double for a star player that night. They can give you the percentage of what they hit on for that exact bet. And that's why I love our friends at Clutch Parlays. But here's the offer for you. Find the best line and build smarter parlays. Track every bet and make more informed betting decisions, all with ClutchParlays.com. Right now, Clutch Parlays is offering a great deal for Locked On listeners. Your first month free on a monthly plan. They want to make sure that you get a real chance to try it out and see what it can do for you. Go to ClutchParlays.com today and use code Locked On to claim it. ClutchParlays.com. Bring together live odds, line shopping, predictions, bet tracking, analytics in one place so you can bet with more confidence.
This episode of Locked On Reds Postcast is also brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. If you've got a sweet tooth like I do, you know how tough it is to find that perfect treat without all the sugar. That's why there's Fruity Rainbow 5 Hour Energy Shots that brings that nostalgic flavor back in a whole new way. Fruity Rainbow 5 Hour Energy Shots treat your taste buds to an explosion of fruity flavor with a tasty caffeine kick. It's a quick, easy way to satisfy that sweet craving while keeping things simple and on the go. A zero sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. I like how convenient it is too. It's just a small portable shop I can grab whenever I need a little pick-me-up. It's become my go-to when I want something sweet without going overboard. Get candy-flavored chaos with fruity 5 Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or at Amazon. And lastly, we are brought to you by our friends over at Stance. As the official sock partner of Major League Baseball, Stance knows greatness isn't built in a moment. It's earned over time through consistency, preparation, and showing up every day. That's why each week we're recognizing one player whose performance embodies those same qualities. This week's everyday icon is Sal Stewart from the Cincinnati Reds. He was an all-star this year, obviously tied for the Major League lead in RBIs. He might be behind it now, actually, but he's in at least the top two. He's obviously been an all-star this year and really should be Rookie of the Year. The fact that this is even a debate is laughable. And that was what makes Sal Stewart your everyday icon. The everyday icon is presented by Stance. Check out the icon collection from Stance. Premium comfort, performance, and durability design for whatever your day brings. Use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout for 20% off your purchase. Stance, the official sock of Major League Baseball. Learn more at stance.com. Thank you once again for making Locked On Reds your first listen each and every day, whether you're catching up the night after the game with me on the postcast or checking out Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds as well. And don't forget about the Locked On Everydayer Club, LockedOnPodcast.com/everydayer. Get access to all of your favorite Locked On shows ad-free, and you also get access to our Discord chat as well. We're in there talking ball, and we want to talk ball with all of you as well. And let's do some good news here, right? Let's talk something decent. TJ Friedl got a hit tonight, and that's something, right?
This is what you'll be talking about.
For the first time since July 11th, TJ Friedl got a hit. Good for him. Obviously, horrendous season. No other way to put it. He's been really bad, but finally gets a hit. His first hit in 15 games. He was now up to 1 for 31 in that stretch. As you can tell, in a game like tonight, when they lose 9-0, sometimes you're grasping at straws. And that was one where we're grasping at straws. So obviously Friedl has to come in for Toglia on short notice. That's, beneficial to have him out there. And I kind of noticed too, as when Tito's going back from checking on Toglia and he's walking back to the dugout, Hector Rodriguez is back there holding his glove also, wondering if he's coming in, and they go with Friedl. So Hector Rodriguez is brought up to play behind TJ Friedl. Okay. Sure. But, he got a hit tonight, so that's cool. But yeah, David, I agree. Honestly, David says he doesn't make up for the issue he had yesterday. Thank you. Also, I got a lot of people mad at me that I blamed him more than I blamed Dane Myers for that. So I appreciate you having my back there. Nikita, Tim, it makes no sense. The organization makes no sense. I agree. If I had an excuse, I'd have one for you, but I don't. And like I said, I bet you TJ Friedl's playing tomorrow. He's probably starting. And I now wonder if he's going to be. It's got to be Will Benson, right? Not that I'm like, hey, Will Benson, rah, rah. But Will Benson got DFA'd with far less at-bats than TJ Friedl, and his OPS was nearly 200 points higher than Friedl's is right now. Maybe it's a good call. I don't know. We'll see. But we got to give a Locked On player of the game, and I think it has to be Julian Garcia, right?
This is the Locked On player of the game.
As Nick Lodolo can't even get through the fourth inning, Julian Garcia steps up and gives 2 2/3 innings of shutout ball. Well, it does have a walk, but continues to kind of be such a surprise for this team. He's been far better than any of us imagined he'd be, especially in a bullpen that has a lot of glaring holes. Looking at you, Sam Maul, who had another rough inning tonight. But, you're looking around there, and it's like you have 3 guys you feel like you can trust in that bullpen. Well, 4. Burke, who I know wasn't necessarily good yesterday, but all 6 of those runs that were charged were unearned against him, so that's nice. Pagan, obviously, has been really, really good since he came back from the break. Luis May has really turned it around. He's been spectacular since he came back up. And then Julian Garcia, who definitely has the lowest ceiling of all those guys, probably the lowest floor too, if we're being transparent, still kind of goes out there and gets outs. He's had a couple bad outings here and there, but every reliever has bad innings. Has bad outings. He's just found a way to be really, really good. So he's got 2 saves in his last 15 games, 20 innings in that time frame. He does have 17 strikeouts. Where I'm really impressed with him is he doesn't walk guys. He's got a .92 whip. I think that's where I'm like really, really blown away by what he's bringing to the team. He's 2-3 with a 267. He's done 30 innings this year. He's got 28 Ks, and his whip's under 1. For guys like that who had to go through everything he went through to get to the big leagues, pretty nice to see. So good for him. That's really nice to see. Other guys to kind of talk about real quick. Not that there's a whole lot. Dane Myers gets another hit and a walk tonight, so that was pretty cool. I really liked what he's been doing of late. He's been really, really solid, even with what happened yesterday. Brian Hayes has another hit. I don't know what's going on with Brian Hayes, but he's swinging the bat pretty well for a stretch now. Not great. Obviously, I'm not going to act like he turned a season around or his career around by any stretch, but for him, we'll take it, right? So that was pretty cool. Shout out Brian Hayes on that as well. And then Eugenio Suarez back in Arizona draws 2 walks tonight. Can't do anything with it, but it was nice to see. The Reds had 4 hits and 3 walks tonight. That's where we're at here. And before I get out of here, I want to make sure I do mention that the Spencer Steer news is obviously a bummer. So that's kind of a disappointing. So obviously, if you haven't seen, Spencer Steer's going to be out the rest of the year. Makes sense because obviously we know what the season is, but obviously kind of disappointing because I'm sure the way he was kind of finding his swing again before his injury, he had that really bad slump to start the year, gets going, has another slump throughout the year. And now we're at this point too as well. So it's so on and so forth. But hopefully he can get speedy recovery and be back for 2027 and the Reds can kind of move on with that. But hey, with that being said, for those who stayed up with me tonight, I definitely appreciate you. It's been really fun to see. But the Reds are losers tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks, 9-0. The Diamondbacks have 9 runs on 15 hits and 0 errors. The Reds have 0 runs on 4 hits and no errors. Eduardo Rodriguez is your winning pitcher for the Diamondbacks. He is now 13-4 with a 2.61 ERA. Nick Lodolo gets his 3rd loss of the year. He is 3-3 with a 5.04 earned run average. And the Reds are back at it tomorrow night in Arizona at 8:10 p.m. Eastern as Rhett Ladder takes the hill for the Reds. He is 4-8 with a 4.17 ERA. He'll be going against Michael Soroka, who is 8-3 with a 2.93 earned run average as well. So a little earlier than it is tonight by about an hour. So hopefully I'm on before midnight tomorrow if that game goes the way it should. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me and staying up with me again. Please be sure to continue to stay locked on with the Locked On Reds post-game show and also the daily show as well. You can subscribe to us here on YouTube or your podcast app of choice. But if you are here on YouTube, I ask politely to please like this video. Go ahead and hit that notification button so you get notified anytime we go live. But everyone, thank you all again. I'm Tim Daniel. Go Red Legs. I'll see you tomorrow.